So today is mowing day. I think I shared that before. So if you hear a little noise in the background, I apologize. I apologize. I wanted to do a little something different with my hair. I think it's okay. Can we just celebrate a good hair day? Because those who are natural know that there's no telling what you will get when you twist out your hair. I experimenting with a little gold hair paint. So we'll see how that comes out when it dries. But I just wanted to hop on and do something different today. I wanted to begin sharing more from my heart, right? So it was 2 years back to back that the Lord had someone speak into my life that I was coming out of obscurity, out of obscurity. You know, there are times when we're ready to go, when we want to do what someone else is doing, when we want to be on a stage, when we want to, just reach the people we feel like even God wants us to reach. But there's still a waiting period, there's still a time and a season. And most of all, most of the time, the Lord knows that there's more healing that we need to do. Who needs healing? I think we should all be raising our hands because we all need healing, right? The thing is, and this is what the Lord began to share with me. He said, when you go before you heal, you will preach a bloody message, right? That meaning you'll be in your feelings, you'll still be in your hurt, and your words will have the ability to wound the very people that you're standing before and you think you're supposed to help, right? So instead of allowing the Spirit to lead you, your flesh and those unhealed places in your heart, those names they called you when you were little, the bullying, the abuse, all of those things will kind of shape your message until it doesn't even look like God. And that's not what we want as believers, right? When you try to get even on a platform, because nowadays there's this clamor for platform. It's like if we're not on a big platform and speaking to 1,000 people, we haven't fully made it. We make up these imaginary like awards and levels in our hearts and minds, and then we sit back depressed or sad or not rejoicing when other people are moving and flowing in that, not understanding maybe God has allowed them to walk out their healing and now they're ready to do it. Or maybe their message is being shaped by their hurt as well. That's one of the reasons why I don't just sit in front of everyone. I don't listen to everyone. I don't go to every event. I don't just start watching a YouTube video or even a Facebook Live because they have 1,000 people on their broadcast. That's not me. That is not me. I have to be led, and a lot of times even God himself has to nudge me, a lot and say, watch this. He'll have to drop something in my line of sight 4 or 5 times before I actually opt in, because I don't want anything to undo all the work that I've done just trying to get myself healed and surrender to him, right? You have to go through the process. And process is like a bad word. People don't want to hear that they have to go through the process, just like they don't want to hear that they need to heal. But it's necessary. And if we're going to represent God, we have to be the best representation of him that we can be, right? So here's a little about me. I went from knowing a whole lot because I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, even as a teenager, selling stuff and earning money, doing things, right? So I went from knowing a lot and being overlooked to him leading me to launch an annual prophetic business conference. And he took me from obscurity to visibility because I was ready according to his standards, not my own standards, right? So it's very important that we get with God, that we allow him to heal us so we're not envious, so we're not jealous of what other people, have or have been led to do. So I've gone from unseen to now being seen, and I'm emerging from 8 years of obscurity. So at one of my annual conferences, Dr. Faith Wakoma, she prophesied over me. She spoke the words, God said, you are coming out of obscurity. And I'm just like, that is the word of the Lord. Because, when you're in obscurity, you can feel like, hey, look at me. I'm here. I want to show you how to do this. I really want to help. And this really worked for me. But there's no audience available to receive you. And when you come out of obscurity, what happens is God positions the people before you. And then you are ready to go. Right? So another year at my conference, the year that prophets Naeem and Hakeem Collins were there, I believe it was prophet, blah. When you're trying to get the words out and you're so excited about what you're saying, sometimes you flub your words, so forgive me. Prophet Naeem prophesied the same thing over me. He said, you are coming out of obscurity. It seems like it's been like 7, no. And he corrected himself, 8 years. And God said he is bringing you out. And he began to release all these beautiful decrees over me from heaven. And I just thank God for that, because I waited for my season. I waited for God to process me. I waited for God to heal me. And then he made me ready. And not only did he make me ready, he positioned those who were supposed to receive me to receive me. So some of you are on this channel because you are a part of that process. And I thank you for journeying with me on this process. It's been exciting, but even more than that, I want to tell you that I'm launching like this lifestyles playlist where I talk more about me and the things that I've overcome. If you're not interested in growing spiritually, if you're not interested in going deeper, the Come Higher series, or even marriage and, the business that I have a playlist for, you're definitely going to want to be in position for this one, because this lifestyle and all about me thing is going to talk about hurts and wounds I had as a child, things that happened to me, just rejection and feeling put off by people. I'm so excited about this particular playlist, and I'll still add the other stuff, some of the spiritual teaching, but I want to get a little more personal on this channel so that you learn more about the person who is teaching you and not just what I'm teaching. So if you're as excited as I am about this new playlist, I feel like I'm launching my own talk show, but on the channel. I mean, it really feels like that, because some of the stuff that I talk about is going to be so candid. Yeah, you're going to feel like I'm in your living room, sitting with you on the couch, having a girl to girl or girl to guy conversation and helping you through some things by sharing my own experiences. So we can say welcome and congratulations for the launch of my talk show if you want to, but just remember, it's on my playlist. There's a separate playlist for it, and all you have to do is subscribe to this channel to get it. Why don't you go ahead right now and send your girlfriend this link, your best girlfriend or your guy friend, or tell your husband to even watch, because sometimes my husband is actually going to join me to just talk about some things. We'll talk about marriage. We'll talk about money. We're going to talk about some things, but it's going to be more personal. Not that we're straying away from God, because he's definitely included in our day-to-day life, but I just want to make sure, again, that you know who it is who has been emerged from 8 years of obscurity and is standing before you now, ready to teach and pour out everything that she knows. I might cry sometimes. You might need a tissue. We might both need a tissue. But I just thank you for just being here on this channel, for joining me, and just stay. It's going to be a wonderful ride, and I can't wait to have you there with me. Okay? So thank you again, and I will see you next time. I want to talk about, well, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. It's going to be good, though. It's going to be something that even if you have overcome this and can't apply these tips to your life because you're fine, you'll know someone who needs these tips and you can share it with them. All right? See you next time.